Welcome back to WHHI News. There's something to say about someone who is there from the beginning, and in this case it happens to be Coach Rodney.Summers, who has been with May River High School as the head football coach since 2016. He's joining us by Zoom. Coach, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, Alec. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about what's upcoming for you and your team. I know you mentioned that it's spring and summer training time. When is that getting started?
Yeah, we start Monday coming up on that's May 2nd. And we'll have the guys come in the morning. We'll have team meetings before school. And then in the afternoon, we'll have practice for about 2 hours after school. So that'll be 4 days a week for the month of May. And then the last week will be cut a little bit short with a spring game on that Wednesday.
What or why do you feel it's so important to be doing this training now? And how does it differ from, say, when you're training or you're playing in the fall?
Well, I mean, this is the start. We tell, it starts to grind as far as the May, June, July grind, the next 3 months. A lot of people think we have the summers off, but this is when we, get prepared. And so May is more of a trying to fit guys around. Spring, try them in new positions. For instance, they may be a outside linebacker for us, but we might need some depth at defensive end, or we might need depth at defensive back area. So we'll move some guys around and try them at different positions. And this is a chance for us to see if they can play somewhere else besides where they were playing already. Maybe they were second string and on the depth chart, and we're trying to get them at first, at the first string in another position so they can help us out on the field.
So I would think for the players that's got to be kind of exciting, especially if they're kind of looking at playing in a different position or maybe kind of moving up in the ranks, but also exciting for you too because you might make some discoveries. I mean, has that happened where
it has. We found some diamonds in the rough.
Did you?
We found some guys that we can move to another spot and help us out and be successful. So it's something we look forward to, and also the coaches look forward to because they get to coach both sides of the ball, whereas sometimes they're only coaching one side of the ball.
Sure. Let's talk about how you've built up this program. As you said to me before we started, it was a little bit of a rough start. You were a new high school. You've been able to see the progression and the improvement over the years. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, starting off from scratch, my second school doing this, and I knew we were going to, hit some road, blocks, hit some bumps in the road. And of course we did, but it was growing pains and starting for varsity for the first time right off the bat, just guys that never played varsity football before. And, we took it on the chin the first year, and then the next year we kind of closed the gap. And then since then we've been able to compete and play for win 2 region championships and, play for a lower state championship. So we hadn't made it to the state championship game yet, but we're always hungry and eager to that's our goal. And, win the county first and win our region and then try to make it to state.
Well, it sounds like you're aiming in that direction. Talk a little bit about some of your players that you have on board now, potential for them in high school or in the future.
Well, one right now, Darian Perry has been a leader for us now, kind of a silent leader, plays defensive back for us. He's being recruited right now by several schools that are looking at him, very interested in him. So I think he's leaning right now towards App State. And so that's a very good, school for him, a good fit. And we're hoping that they continue to stay on board. And he's a young man that, again, we're going to have to probably play him on offense this year more than he has in the past just because of depth purposes. So he's a guy we're going to look at in the spring and see where he can help us out offensively and be a weapon for us on that side of the ball, as well as, he's been playing defensive back. So Thomas Race, linebacker, be a senior this year, and a young man has stepped up and played well in the shoes of Eli Hall once he graduated. So, again, our offensive line, a lot of those guys are back, and so we're looking forward to that. We've got some holes, again, like we said, we got to fill at running back, at quarterback, and those are 2 main positions that, we really got to find somebody to step in the spring and that'll catapult us into the season.
Well, let me ask you, we're almost out of time, but now you've mentioned some players, they'll be moving on after the next season. Are you always thinking ahead? Because you've got to
always, you have to. Yeah, I mean, there's middle school guys coming in. They'll show up on Monday, some of them for the first time that I've never seen them. Some have already been working out with us. So, it'll always be, trying to plan ahead you're always trying to build that JV program up so that they can play, varsity and step in the guys' shoes when they leave.
Well, it sounds like exciting times coming up with the spring practice session. Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Allie. I appreciate it for all y'all do for our high school sports here and football especially.
You are more than welcome. We're glad to do it. And we will be right back on WHHI News. We're going to find out about what you can be doing as the weekend approaches with Jessica Jeremiah. Stay right there.